for this year. I tell you, first, in essence, we started a new business, even though Jeff Air had been in business a while. Taking on the FTO and everything was just a new project, and you guys really helped us to make it an easy process. And I want to thank you for that, and I appreciate all of your hard work and everything you've done. And I really believe we have a nice cooperative team effort here, and we're doing all we can to help promote the airport as well.
Good question, Tom. Do you ever get a request from the military personnel for hangar space? Would there be an opportunity for them to maybe, get an eye for security or?
Yeah, we've never had any requests for that. Generally, they just park on the ramp. Now, I think Ben mentioned in his report last month that we had a couple of C-130s that delayed their departure because of frost on the wings, and we would certainly eliminate that. But we've not received any requests for hangar space.
Those some government contractors operate on North Vernon because of the sensitive equipment they have in their aircraft.
Oh, yes.
They have to be in a hangar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we've never had any requests like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Tom, thanks for your continued investment. You're welcome. I hope it's because of the increased business and all the great things you see, but it's great to hear that snow plows and new fuel trucks and all that are part of the business, and I think the customers just appreciate it in the end, and they get good services out of it. So.
Well, we're all about customer service.
Absolutely.
And that's what you got to do. You got to buy this stuff. You got to have it.
I will pass along nothing but compliments from the base pilot population.
Thank you.
You guys are really doing a great job.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments? Financial report.
As I'll out here reviewed earlier, so I'm just going to skim over the top. Our net estimated Mr. Fischerberger will be
Congratulations.
$3,617,000 for 2342. On the profit and loss statement, any items you have a question about? Farming profit and loss. Good job, Mr. Monroe. Our accumulated profit to date is $608,733.48. Okay, there you go. And our self-fuel, our net projected profit on our remaining fuel that we have in our tank is $20,111.86.
For the members of the public, so we had 662 transactions for 18,628 gallons. So we are over last year's numbers, but under I think what we kind of projected. We think we were for 20,000 gallons a year.
Well, we had an FPO come in.
I know.
It's done a remarkable job.
That's right.
It's a win-win either way. Any questions or comments on the financial?
I had mentioned, Brian, earlier, if we could track the self-serve transactions by time of day, in other words, when Jeff Air is not open, it might be an interesting picture.
Maybe we can probably go back and pull the November data.
Yeah, because 1 month probably didn't change in terms of day part distribution. Probably didn't change much from month to month.
Yeah, I would think so. Why don't you let us pull the November data and get that for you at the next airport board meeting?
Okay. Any questions?
And we'll see if we can give Jeff Air something else to buy.
Operations report. You're up.
Okay. Starting with the airfield, obviously this was touched on already. Runway 1432 has been completed for the project, but still have some punch list items like crack ceiling grading, some things we'll complete in the spring as well. Our FAA inspector, one of them came down on December 4th to inspect the runway, and she kind of reaffirmed, a lot of the things we have on the punch list that we were kind of looking at. So it was good to see that everything we had on the punch list, she kind of saw and kind of reaffirmed things.
Was it Melanie?
I'm sorry.
Melanie? Oh, inspector.
Yeah.
Also carrying out personnel and ice control in winter ops. One of the things we do is have a snow and ice control meeting, and that was conducted on November 19th. We just do like a review of snow and ice control plan, and that went over really well. One of the things we're currently doing is preparing all our snow and ice control equipment. Something new we have this year is polyurethane blades, which we're excited to have because they should last longer and they're easier on your pavements and markings, that kind of thing. So we're happy to have those. We're working with Jeff Air on the de-icing program, so still going over the SWIP and the SBCC like Brian mentioned. Facilities, we have some things that were kind of done in the past month. Jeff Air replaced some locks in the transit hangar. Doing some preventative maintenance on T-hangers, greasing, replacing concrete bolts. Some of those were kind of rusted out, so we have to throw those out. Looking at just kind of starting a preventive maintenance schedule, just to kind of stay on top of those type of things, as far as like the gates, the bolts, things like that kind of nature. Another thing we're doing is accepting bids on a new security and camera system, which should be good for as far as seeing the terminal, the airfield, things like that. So we're more secure. Things should help with security and safety reasons. Training, we're conducting some airfield driving training with 2 of our part-time technicians. You can tell they're starting to grasp concepts in the airfield, but we're still working with them. They're not 100% there yet, but the more people we have that can drive on the airfield and can do snow and ice control, the better. So hopefully they'll be done very soon. We're also having Kevin Elmore, who's the Indianapolis ARC chief down. He's going to help us kind of go over with our station, Station 2. Just go over the paperwork and just kind of make sure that we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's, things of that nature. And the plans, those are also mentioned, the spill prevention, control, and countermeasures, as well as the stormwater pollution prevention plan. Finalizing the details with NGC on that, so we're still working with them. Hopefully we have something by the end of the week where it should be done. So, like Brian mentioned, we have a conference call with them on Thursday, so hopefully we finalize that quickly.
Is the transit hangar now completely secure?
The transit?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, because before it was wide open, so it now takes keyed or accompanied access.
All four doors have been, the keys have been changed, all the locks have been changed out, so it should be.
And it is locked.
Yep.
You're locked all the time.
Should be, yeah.
Any questions or comments?
We're all, are you replacing security or are you expanding the security cameras, CCTV?
As far as the camera,
On the camera system, whenever we had some damaged units when it came to the remodel of the terminal building project. So as part of the most recent upgrades, we're going to upgrade the entire camera system. We're going to add some additional ones on the outside and upgrade some of the interior ones as well. We did take 3 bids on that. We got 3 different companies to bid that project. Talked to a couple of others who came down and looked, and a couple of us didn't seem like it was a project that they would want to look at. So we did, was it Hoosier? Hoosier Security Camera System is the company that we went with. And again, we've taken bids on those, and we're going to start moving forward with those camera systems.
Well, this is a little bit off the subject here. Where did we wind up on Wi-Fi that would extend out under the ramp and around the area?
It's there. It got installed a while back. You can pick it up all the way. Okay, thank you. Airport Director's Report.
For the first minute of my airport director's report, I'm going to give over back to for an update on the Education Pathways Initiative. You're all about the handling.
So whenever I came in, we noticed that we had educational programs for just about every age group, from really 7th graders or 7-year-olds up to through higher education. But what we really didn't have was a way to get these children engaged, really elementary schoolers engaged, in what else was in an airport other than just flying. So I'll talk to Brian. Me and Brian decided to try to find a source of funding to create a short animated video and maybe a coloring book to show at the beginning of tours to try to spark children's interest in aviation, obviously pilot side, and everything that goes along with being at an airport. So we came up with a SPARK initiative. The SPARK initiative stands for a Student Program for Aviation Resources and Knowledge. We looked for a funding source that aligned with our goals, found the Heritage Grant, or the Heritage Fund of Bartholomew County. Applied for a $5,000 grant. We are looking for funding throughout the rest of the community to meet our funding goal. And that's about it. I'll let you all look through the grant proposal as you all have time.
I think what Matthew wrote up here, the grant proposal for Heritage Fund, he did a great job on that. Really outlined the fact that too often kids think about an airport and the only job in an airport is being a pilot. And although Chris would probably appreciate that, the rest of us guys. So we wanted to let them know that there's so much more besides just being a pilot. Air traffic control, the fire department, avionics, maintenance, line service. So there's so much more, and that's what part of what the coloring book is going to advertise. And again, it's to get those students interested in aviation and excited about aviation. We believe that the SPARK program is part of our Educational Pathways Initiative, and you'll see our logo, who was designed by Ms. Leslie, another one of our interns in the back, our marketing intern. She did a great job doing this Educational Pathways Initiative logo. So we're excited that that's the first step of 6 different steps that we're going to be taking. 4 of those steps are already in place. First flights, Young Eagles, Civil Air Patrol, and of course our Tech Aviation Education Program. The other one is called Aviation Nation. This is part of the Eagle's Nest, or kind of an idea of the same as Eagle's Nest project that goes on in North Vernon. These kids currently are building an aircraft at Williams County High School right now, and we're trying to find a way to bring that up here, and really looking to start that fall of next year if we can. So that's the goal at this point as part of the entire Pathways Initiative that we're
Questions?
Okay, thank you. So again, on the air side, some things we're working on. We have Aviation Day 2016 meeting. So if you wanted Aviation Day in 2016, you probably should show up. We're going to be talking about that December 16th at 4 o'clock here in this room. We've already discussed that.
Well, I thought we were looking at 2 options. Continuing doing what we're doing, or a minimalist version. Are you saying another option?
No, I'm saying that the committee who would decide that are the ones who are going to be meeting.
Right.
So the committee, because essentially we have an Aviation Day committee meeting, and everyone's going to be all the decisions for Aviation Day up to this point. So those people will be meeting and discussing as to whether or not we think it's a good idea to keep on with Aviation Day as it is, or a modified version, a lesser version, or skipping the year and going alternate years. All those things will be discussed at that meeting on December 16th. Another thing we've been working on, and both Matthew and Leslie, our 2 interns, have been working on, is a Willie Card Award. This is for our contract tower. It's an award through our Contract Tower Association. That is due, I think it's sometime in February, so we're expecting letters of support for that from our tenants, and also drafting that document up to be submitted. And essentially, it's just all about the tower, their performance of the tower, how do they communicate, the aviation days that we have, how do they communicate that with the general public, and so I'm looking forward to submitting on that. From a land side, the CRC, as you remember, you requested the use of TIP dollars for that water sewer expansion, and that was approved at the CRC's latest latest meeting. Continue to work with the soccer pavilion, and I would expect a release for those guys in the January meeting, so looking forward to that. And then several other development teams have been contacting us on that retail and commercial development space, so that's at the corner of Clochard and Central, in the southwest corner. So I'm excited to continue to work with them, and as things become more firm, I'll let you know.
What's the nature of the request you're getting now? Is it generally food?
It's more just requesting of what it is that we're looking for. The fact that we have any interest at all is exciting. Remember that we went out for an RFP for this in January, and essentially turned up not a single person was interested at the time. So I don't know if it has something to do with the soccer complex,
Or the dorms?
or the student housing now in place, or it's just overall we're getting out in the community more. We're extending, actually, not only in the community, but in Indianapolis, and I had one from here with in conversations with. So there's just some interesting parties.
And the housing thing, and more medical now too.
That's right. That's right. We're expanding on several different ways. last thing was Leslie is also working on what we're calling the Walls of Columbus. So she's outlining all the different buildings that are on our walls and murals. That brochure should be available for prints, and you should have that in your hands by January's local board meeting. And then the last item I have is an unveiling upstairs. So when we're done signing all our documents, upstairs there's going to be some suites. I think we have some suites we have set out. If the general public would like to stick around for that, you're more than welcome. And I'd like to unveil something for your board meeting. There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Any questions for Brian? Questions from the public?
Any comments from the public? I'm sure you want to say
I have a question over on the west side, I guess, is that Columbus Airway hangar. If we would put a bigger airplane in there, what's the chance of getting the taxiways over there widened out? Coming out of that hangar up to the first taxiway and then out to, I guess, probably out to Charlotte. What would need to happen there and what kind of request would it need?
I think that realistically, if you want that to happen, it would go on a capital improvement list along with all the other things. And, you know, it would probably be prioritized by the FAA at some point for, you know, matching funds and all that. They were talking about years, very likely, before you would see anything different. I mean, unless it was all done locally. You know, if the airport does it locally, that's a different story, but then it's just a dollars and cents thing. So, I don't know how to answer that really well, other than we should get it on the list for capital improvements at the very least to justify, you know, the long-term capital expenditure.
I mean, if you're, you know, and I heard the discussion here about the different hangars and Sue's exactly right. I mean, people that are going to come in here and bring some bigger stuff. And those are pretty thin over there. We were going to check it out and see whether or not it support that challenge or not. It just, I don't want to take that responsibility, but I don't know who, do we need to come to the board and say, hey, do we bring a proposal to the board?
I think you would work through him first.
Okay.
Yeah. And come up with a timeline, plan, and cost estimates and all that.
Okay.
It'd be nice for starters to see a request in writing, a paragraph of what.
Okay, that's, I knew it's going to be, Brian and I started that conversation, I think, on Saturday, and it was a surprise to a lot of people, so.
Yeah, in Europe. I mean, there's Fox and New Mexico, say everybody's hangar is always good.
That would be great. Well, I mean, for the bigger hangars and stuff, it's going to bring you some, the new aircraft owners, it's going to, I just think that's, and I'll get something put together that I can get to Brian, and we can maybe take some measurements on some other things and see what's out there, how much it'd be. It looks to me like you need another 8 or 10 feet on each one of those. I know when I first got the first hangar over there, Dick, we expanded that where then the yellow line was over on the other side. I think we put 4 feet on that to come in to get us in there. And there was a pole over there on that side that would clip one time with the twin. So, but that was and that's been a long time ago. It's been 25 years. Yeah, but that was added on. But get you something on that. Is that okay?
Yeah, get with me, and then Nick and I will talk from an engineering standpoint, from an FAA standpoint as well, on how that would work. But yeah, get with me.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Anything else? Okay. Nick?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
We're adjourned. Thank you very much.